Whether you know it or not, sometimes the smallest things you do can have the biggest effects on your life. For example, switching that big burger bun for a healthy salad can make the difference between having a 40-inch waistline and being in great shape. Put it another way, giving up 1 hour of video games a night can make the difference between having to lose your scholarship and graduating with honors. We can also make small changes that lead to big improvements in our finances. So in this video, I'll take you to the 3 things you must do to get rich. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button and that little notification bell icon so that you don't miss out on any of our video updates. Plus, it helps us spread the Thrive Wise love to help more people thrive wisely. Now, let's begin. Number 1. Keeping track of how my money is doing. If you're not tracking, you're not stacking. This is one of the mantras I live by. But before that, let me give you a short throwback. You see, when I was younger, I was not very good at managing my money. I never really gave much thought into my financial situation. Maybe it was because I was unhappy with my income at the time, or because I was too lazy to think about it. Don't get me wrong, I wasn't a complete money slacker. I've never racked up a lot of credit card debt or done anything permanent to hurt my credit. But I was getting ahead financially by doing what I wanted. Then I got a wake-up call about money that changed my life forever. I was about 25 years old at the time, and after a few dates to get my bearings, I was back on the dating market. I thought that finding my future partner would be just a matter of time. Who wouldn't want to go out with a guy like me? Well, it looks like the answer was pretty much every girl I went out with. Now, kidding aside, what went wrong with my dates? There was one simple question that always brought down my battleship. It was when my date asked, "Do you have your own place?" I would sink into my chair and say that at age 25, I was still living with my parents. This was the end of the game. But after getting turned down over and over again for the same reason, I knew I had to get serious about making money. So what did I do? I made a plan that helped me start saving money and get to the point where I could buy a house and say goodbye to my childhood bed. And this is how I discovered the DIIS system. Debts, investments, income and savings, or DIIS, is the acronym for my financial review system. It's only fitting since my dates always walked away or turned me down. You know, dissed. Anyway, the goal of the system is to make sure that you are always getting ahead financially by constantly reminding you of where you stand. There are 3 steps you must take to use this system. The first step is to figure out where each of the 4 pillars of the system stands now. From your debts, add up your investments, figure out how much money you make, and look at your savings. Once you have these starting numbers, the next step is to make a plan for how to get close to your financial goals. For instance, if you have to save $200 by next month, then create a plan to cut out $200 worth of expenses or make a bit of extra money. After a month has passed, step 3 is to look at where you are in each of these 4 areas and see if you have met the goals you set for yourself. If it's positive, create new goals and actions. If not, you should think about what you did wrong and how you can change your plan to make sure you reach your goal this time. Now you might be wondering, does this system let you buy a house in the long run? Yes, that's the simple answer. By keeping track of all of my major financial milestones, I was able to save up enough money to buy a house. Now I can say on dates, yes, I do have my own place. And it hasn't hurt my dating game at all. However, I wouldn't have gotten to this point in my financial life without focusing on one of these 4 pillars, which was my income. So let's talk about how I earned the money I needed to buy my house, which will lead us to the next point. Number 2. Practicing the $50 rule. Over the last few years, I've looked at the financial habits of thousands of people I know, and one thing has become very clear. Most people don't have a problem saving money. They have a problem making money. I mean, sure, some people buy things on the spot or use shopping as a way to deal with problems in their lives. But most people can't get ahead financially because of how much money they make each month. I know this is true because I was in the same situation for a long time. This is because I have always saved money in a smart way. From the moment I came into this world, my parents taught me how important it was to save money. So I would only buy something after saving up for it. And every time I got an allowance or a birthday present, I would put the money in my bank. I thought I was doing everything right, and I thought it wouldn't be long before I was living the good life once I grew up and got all my degrees and titles. I sure was wrong. After spending many years and thousands of dollars on my post-secondary education, I had pretty high hopes for how much I would make when I started working. Unfortunately, my hopes were met with a salary of about $40,000. And that's when I realized it wasn't easy to make money. I went to school for 7 years and got 3 degrees, but I was still barely making enough money to pay my bills every month. Let's just say I was pretty shocked by this realization. I don't give up easily though. So I knew I had to find a way to make more money if I ever wanted my finances to start going in the right direction. Around the same time that I had what I call my income epiphany, I was a bit heavier than I wanted to be because I had been trying to gain more muscle. I needed to lose about 40 pounds to get a leaner body. I'll admit that the idea of losing 40 pounds was scary, but I knew I could do it one small step at a time because I'd done it before. So I started doing cardio to burn off the fat. After a while, I noticed that doing the same 30 minutes on the treadmill stopped making the number on the scale go down. This led me to add a few extra minutes on the treadmill, and guess what? The weight started to come off again. The process of stopping and adjusting did wonders for my weight loss, and I realized it one day while I was on the treadmill, what would happen if I did this with my money. This is how I put the $50 rule into use. The rule says that every month you should try to bring an extra $50 to add to your total income. Now you might be wondering, $50? That doesn't look like much money. And that's the whole point. If I told you that you had to make an extra $5,000 next month, you'd probably have a nervous breakdown right in front of me. But if I told you that you had to make an extra $50, you wouldn't even break a sweat. Now the sneaky thing about the $50 rule is that it does start to add up in a big way over time. If you keep making an extra $50 a month over what you made the month before, you'll have almost $4,000 more in your pocket in just a year. I can tell you from personal experience that this money rule has helped me save more money than ever before. In the next section, I'll tell you how I made extra money and what benefits I saw as a result. But wait, before that, I'd like you to help me out in some way. Immediately pause this video and please do me a huge favor by clicking like, and if you are new, kindly click subscribe. If you did, you're great, and we really appreciate your help. Rest assured we'll bring you more videos that will help you thrive wisely. And going back, number 3, having other streams of income. When it came to money, my career didn't start off with a bang. At the time, it really sucked, but looking back, it's been a real blessing. The last thing that's changed my financial aid for good was looking for ways to make more money beyond my job. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with working from 9 to 5, and for 99% of people, this should be a big part of how they make money. But there are some problems with it, like the way it makes money, which I'm glad I figured out sooner rather than later. What do these rules say? You might be wondering. So let me explain the 3 major problems with the 9 to 5 income model for you as an employee. First, you trade your time for money, which means that if you don't work, you don't get paid. This might not seem like a big deal, but life is full of surprises, and your ability to do work well could be affected at any time. Second, you can't control whether or not you get a raise or a promotion. You could be the best employee your company has ever had, but it's not up to you. On the other hand, you can kiss that pay raise goodbye if your boss doesn't like you or if your business is having trouble making money. But let's say you do get a pay increase. Then congratulations! I'm sure that a 2% increase is going to make a huge difference in your life. But sorry to break it up to you, it doesn't. The last problem with getting a raise at work is that most companies only give raises of 2 to 5%. After inflation, this leaves you with just enough money to get a few grocery bags and, if you're lucky, a Netflix subscription for about 6 months. Once I realized that I needed to make more money outside of my current job, I turned to these 2 main ways to do so. Number 1, I began this channel. Starting this channel was one of the best decisions I have ever made. Not only has it helped me make a lot more money, but it's also given me the chance to help other people learn more about money. I am also making more money by producing music and playing the piano, which is one of my favorite things to do. With the help of my clients, I've been able to close a lot of deals each year and make thousands of dollars each month. It's like getting two things done at once, giving them their output and me earning. Now it's clear that these two ways of making money will help you make more money. But that benefits go much deeper. And I want to tell you about them because they are the real reasons why this has changed my life so much. First, making money outside of your 9-to-5 job gives you a lot of financial confidence. This is because you'll probably have to learn new skills to make more money, which will force you to grow as a person. It's also powerful to know that you can make money out of nothing. The ability to save and invest is the next thing. Do you think I saved and invested thousands of dollars a month for owners who made $40,000 a year? No way! But when I started making extra money through my online businesses, I was able to save and invest much more, which changed my financial situation in a big way. Now comes financial security, which is last but certainly not least. As we saw during the pandemic, no job is really safe. But if you have multiple sources of income, you can stay afloat while you look for a new job. If you ask me, all of these benefits make earning money outside of your 9-to-5 job a no-brainer. And I can personally say that doing so has made a huge difference in the quality of my life, which is why it's one of the 3 things that has changed my life the most. Well, that's basically the 3 things you must do to get rich. And thank you guys so much for watching today's video. If you enjoyed this, then you will probably learn a lot more from watching this other video, a must-see guide to get rich during a recession. If you click on the screen right now, you can go and watch that. Do you want to learn more about how to thrive wisely? What videos would you want to watch next? Feel free to comment down below. And please don't forget to click the subscribe button to see more videos on how to thrive wisely. Till next time.